Joining me now to weigh in on the SAVE Act and this monumental case they're mounting, he's the president of Judicial Watch, our pal, Tom Fenton, back on the program. Hey, Big Tom, nice to see you. Let's begin in the House and move to the Senate, and then I'll move to your case pending with the Supreme Court. Great victory in the House, but because everybody keeps bringing it up on the Hill, and the president even brought it up today when a reporter asked him. He, of course, was talking about something totally different. He was talking about all the climate change hoax regulation crap that he just got rid of. And a reporter, of course, had to throw out, what about the SAVE Act? He corrected her. It's the Save America Act. And then he went on to keep repeating, like I have, the recent polls from mainstream liberal news outlets that show 96% of Republicans want this to go through. We want voter ID. We want registration to prove you're a citizen. And it was like 70-some% of Democrats and 80-some% of independents and libertarians. So the majority of American real legal voters want this. How do we convince Democrats that we want this is the question, Tom.
Well, those who run the Democratic machinery, Democratic Party machine operators, the leftist allied groups, they're not dumb about this. They recognize having no voter ID in many key states like New York, Pennsylvania, California, making it nearly impossible to stop illegal aliens from registering to vote. There's only currently, the only rule is you got to swear that you're a citizen when you register to vote. No one checks to make sure whether that's accurate or not.
Yeah, and so, people never lie, right, Tom?
Yeah, so they recognize, you know, they need that lack of security in terms of voter ID and citizenship verification in order to be able to steal elections. Lunatics in Washington, D.C. think that it's insane to ask someone to prove their citizenship when we have tens of millions of non-citizens walking around who can easily, maliciously, and sometimes mistakenly register to vote.
Oh, yeah.
And once they're registered to vote, voter ID is going to stop them from voting because many of them have the voter ID necessary to vote.
Right, because blue states give them driver's licenses. Yeah, blue states give them, saying, walk in and go, here's my ID, let me vote. You're so right, though, Tom, because I tell you what, I don't know how many times I've heard people to my face, I've seen sound bites on social media, on other networks, whatever, where they walk up to a group of Americans, you're going to vote this year? Nope. Why? Because my vote doesn't even count. That's what people are starting to think. My vote doesn't even count. Why should I even do it? Let me throw up some headlines because I want to brag you up as well. But first, before I get to what Judicial Watch did, 28% of U.S. voter verifications have no match at the Social Security office in our country. Think about that, folks, because they're not citizens. But here I want to give you some credit. Put that headline up about Judicial Watch. Thanks to Judicial Watch, at least 5 million names have been cleaned from voter rolls across the country. If you cleaned up 5 mil, Tom, I'm scared to find out how many actually are on the rolls across this country. Another 10, 15, 20 million that shouldn't be voting? Who knows?
We suspect there's about 24 million dirty names on the rolls. That's after the cleanup. And we just expect of the election system that doesn't need reform and increased security measures.
Amen.
Voter registration, securing that in terms of making sure non-citizens aren't participating.
Yep.
Voter ID to make sure the votes themselves are tied to a specific person. Controlling of the mail-in balloting and ballot harvesting. So we have unsecure voting where people can be intimidating. Who knows what's going on when ballots are flying hither and thither, right? And now on top of that, we have the dirty voting list. So there's a lot of work to be done. And, as we'll go into the next case here.
That's my final question.
They're counting ballots unlawfully, it looks like, across the country.
Yeah, and we all saw that with the last how many elections with the mail-in ballots, especially during the COVID pandemic. So your case, I got just about less than a minute left here, Tom.
Yeah.
Your case is going to go before the Supreme Court. I said the date in March sometime. Was it the 23rd?
Yeah, they're going to be hearing it in March 23rd. And to be simple, Congress set an election day. And ballots that arrive late shouldn't be counted. And in 20, 30 states, they count ballots that arrive late. Illinois, they count ballots that arrive for up to 2 weeks after Election Day. California,
what?
7 days after Election Day.
Where's the security there? You can't confirm. Okay. Anyway, we're going to go on for more minutes. They're going to start yelling, "Rap my ear louder."
So it's a big case. It's a massive
case.
election security case.
So if I don't see you
Supreme Court
before,
right